The worst films of 2017. We're rolling film right now. What's up? It's Russell here at House Hollywood Reviews, and if you guys haven't, go ahead and click that subscribe button, that little bell notification icon down there. You'll get notified anytime I drop a new movie review, trailer review, anything new, you guys will get notified, so go ahead and do that. And also, after the video, go ahead and like and comment. Well, yesterday we saw the top films of 2017, so with that, we have to go to the bottom half of 2017. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I have a couple honorable mentions for worst films of 2017. Starting at number 5, let's go ahead and go with the movie Life. This Jake Gyllenhaal sci-fi movie was just absolutely awful. I thought from the trailer it looked like an alien-type movie, like the original Alien, and I was like, oh, this actually doesn't look that bad. Jake Gyllenhaal is usually a good actor, so anything he's in is pretty entertaining. But this movie just failed to just get my attention. It was like almost 2 hours. It was boring. Nothing happened, and it was just stupid. So that is my number 5 honorable mention. At number 4 was a movie I just reviewed a couple weeks ago, Just Getting Started. Just Getting Started was Tommy Lee Jones and Morgan Freeman, and the movie just was a flat-out disaster. It was not funny. And it was basically just a movie where Morgan Freeman is trying to hide from his old mob boss or whatever, and basically stays at like a living facility for older people. And then Tommy Lee Jones comes in and all this stuff. But this movie just failed to impress me. It wasn't funny. I just thought that, especially caliber actors like Tommy Lee Jones and Morgan Freeman, you expect a little bit more. I understand, they're getting older. They're just trying to cash it in. But yeah, stay away from that one too. At number 3, we have The Dark Tower, the much anticipated adaptation of Stephen King's book series. This one just failed to take off for me. I was anticipating it. I saw the previews with Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey. Thought, hey, this movie is going to be really good. The movie was like really, really short. It was like an hour and 20 minutes long. I felt like nothing got established. And if this is a franchise that they're trying to aim for, I thought they would explain a lot more. So I thought the movie would be longer than an hour and 20 minutes. It just failed to get my attention, and it kind of stunk because Matthew McConaughey has usually been pretty solid in anything he's done, so I was kind of underwhelmed by The Dark Tower, and it was just boring, and like I said, it was just too short. All right, at number 2, we have Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I think we need to just hang this series up. The first one was good. The second one was all right, and then they got progressively bad. The one with the mermaid was absolutely awful. I get it. It's one of those cash cows for Hollywood. It's just like the Transformers series. They can bank on Pirates of the Caribbean and Johnny Depp because they know people are going to go see it. Overall, I just didn't care for the movie. I kind of liked the ending though, but overall, as a whole, I could not get into it. I just didn't like it. My number 1 honorable mention for worst film of 2017, and a lot of heat I'll probably receive for this, but that's okay, is the movie Dunkirk. I tried to rewatch it a couple days ago, and I still felt the same exact way as I did when I went into the theaters and saw it this summer. The movie just doesn't deliver for me. There's no chemistry with the characters, and I understand everybody's like, oh, well, it's about the event only and not so much the characters, but you have to set up the character development. You have to be invested in characters, and there's no character development in that story. I can't get it. I just could not get involved in it. I wanted to like it, but from a director like Christopher Nolan, you're expecting a little bit more. I just did not like it. I thought some of the stuff was so far-fetched, especially with Tom Hardy's character and him running out of gas. There's just so much of this movie I did not like, and I get Nolan was trying to go for a different perspective. He wanted to try something different in his hand at a PG-13 war movie. Great, more props to you. But like I said, I could not get involved in this movie. I couldn't find any passion for it, and I had to put it as honorable mention because I absolutely couldn't stand the movie. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the bottom 10 of the movies that the worst for 2017. At number 10, I have another favorite of people that they liked, but I just could not get into it. It came out in June. It is called It Comes at Night. The Joel Edgerton movie that I saw the trailer for, and I thought we were getting a horror movie, but we ended up getting like a survivalist type movie. We got something completely different. The The selling point for the movie was completely wrong. I thought it comes at night sounded like a horror movie. It felt like a horror movie through the trailers, and we get some movie with a mysterious disease, and people are locked up in a cabin and stuff like that. This movie sucked. I couldn't get into it. It was boring. Just nothing good from it. A lot of people liked it. I just was on the opposite end of it. I just couldn't get into it. I just thought it was boring. At number 9, we have The House, the Will Ferrell comedy. Will Ferrell has been mailing in performances lately, where you have an actor like Will Ferrell. You are used to like Elf, Wedding Crashers, Old School, funny movies, and then we get this pile of garbage called The House. It is about his daughter wanting to go to college, and they want to save up money for college, but they don't have any money, so they start a casino at their house. Some of it was funny, but overall, I wasn't entertained again by it. I just felt like these guys are just mailing in performances. Some of the stuff was funny, but overall as a whole, I just can't recommend it. At number 8, we have the train wreck called The Circle. When I saw this movie trailer, I thought Tom Hanks, Emma Watson, John Boyega, this movie should be pretty good. It sounded kind of cool. But when I went to see it, I'm like, wow, this movie is bad, especially with the acting. You thought for sure with Tom Hanks and Emma Watson, two good actors, the movie was going to be good. It just didn't sell me. I believe Emma Watson was coming in. She had got a dream job at this company, and I don't even remember it because I tried to forget about it after I saw it. The movie just sucked. And it wasn't any good, especially for the billing. When you have Hanks, Watson, and John Boyega, I thought for sure the movie would be a lot more entertaining than it was, but this movie just flopped on all fours. At number 7, I have the train wreck Geostorm. It came out in October, and it was directed by Dean Devlin, and it starred Gerard Butler. And pretty much this movie I could not get into this. I thought it was far-fetched. I did go for the aspect of the special effects. It was kind of cool to see that. Outside of everything else seems so far-fetched that this could never happen. It would be kind of cool if it did, and they had ways to actually control weather, so it wouldn't be freezing cold out like it is right now. But overall, I just thought this movie was just laughable. I just went literally just to be entertained by the special effects. The storyline sucked, and Gerard Butler really just didn't seem like he really cared about being in the movie too much. At number 6, this is a movie that not a lot of people saw, probably because it was bad. It was called Till Death Do Us Part. This movie came out in September, and I believe when I went to IMDb, there was only 300 reviews on it, or 300 people that rated it on star reviews. And that was pretty much because this movie came out quickly and left quickly because it was a pile of garbage. This movie feels like a Lifetime movie, and it runs the same exact way Sleeping with the Enemy does. The woman is in an abusive relationship with her husband. She goes and leaves, fakes her death, and the husband ends up finding out about it. But Sleeping with the Enemy did it so much better. I don't know why we had to remake it with now, but it absolutely stunk, and it was a steaming pile of garbage. Going into that type of fiance, husband-wife type of movie, number 5, I have Unforgettable. Katherine Heigl's career is absolutely going down the drain. Rosario Dawson also stars in this movie. It is about a woman who pretty much is like an ex-wife now to this guy, and the guy gets engaged again with a female, Rosario Dawson, and pretty much Katherine Heigl is jealous, so she pretty much makes the new fiance's life a living hell, which is absolutely stupid. Like I said, this movie just stunk. And these movies seem to pop up the same type of movies, the same plot lines, bad relationships, and then they leave, and then people go psycho, and it's just the same stuff over and over, like a Fatal Attraction type thing over and over and over. At number 4, I saw this movie in February, and it has held the test of time to stay on my top 10 worst of 2017. It was Rings. It was directed by F. Javier Gutierrez, and it was the 3rd installment to the Rings franchise. I really enjoyed the first Ring, the Ring movie, and then you had the Ring 2, which kind of got into Samara's backstory and how she became to be, which was kind of interesting too. And then all of a sudden we wait 10 years to bring out the 3rd one, which nobody really cares about. The time's passed for that. This movie just stunk. John Galecki from The Big Bang Theory was in it. I feel bad because he's probably making more money doing The Big Bang Theory than this piece of garbage. Overall, this movie wasn't scary. It wasn't any good. It was so far-fetched. So yeah, that was a train wreck, so stay away from that one too. At number 3, we have a remake from a 1990 film called Flatliners. This movie came out in September, and it starred Ellen Page. This movie just stunk. It pretty much took obviously the same premise from the 1990 film that Joel Schumacher directed and put it to 2017. They even put... who else made a cameo in it? Kiefer Sutherland made a random cameo in it just to make a cameo in it, which his character did nothing for the film, so I don't know. That just probably they played off nostalgia. But the movie just sucked. I was disappointed that one of the characters in the film died, which kind of sucked. It's a spoiler, I guess, but the movie came out a couple months ago, so if you didn't see it, oh well, you're not missing anything anyway. But that kind of made me mad just because that's what happened. They killed the character off, and I was like, well, okay, because none of the other ones died in the original one, so that was kind of stupid. But yeah, Flatliners sucked. It was another bad movie. Coming up with the horror aspect of films, I got my number 2 worst movie, and that is Friend Request. This movie came out in September, and they always seem to release these scary movies right around Halloween time, which makes sense, but these movies aren't scary. Friend Request it's pretty much what it sounds like. The one girl becomes obsessively stalkerish with the another girl and sends her a friend request. Well, they end up sending the friend request, but then she deletes her friend request, and now she starts killing all of her friends and tries to start killing all of her friends off, so that this girl really ends up having no friends. The movie sucked. It was just so bad. These horror movies are so unoriginal anymore, and it was kind of funny because Friend Request kind of reminded me of the one that just came out, Unfriended. Only it kind of dealt with something a little bit different, but still played on the same aspect of Facebook. Which this movie just sucked. And that leads you to my number 1 train wreck movie of the year, and it is The Snowman. If you guys saw this movie, I feel so bad for you, and you guys should absolutely drink alcohol. Because this movie, when I saw the trailer, I was like, this movie is going to be so good. It looks so great. You had Michael Fassbender in it, this thriller type horror movie. I said, this movie is going to be awesome, because I was sold. I was sold when I saw the trailer. I was like, this movie is going to be so good. And then I sit in it, and I'm like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. You have Val Kilmer's dubbed over voice, which was completely dumb. You have Michael Fassbender's character's name's Harry Hole. That's all you need to know. When you have a character's name, Harry Hole, in a movie, walk out. Because this movie, like I said, sucked. And I wish that I could have got that hour and 45 minutes back of life that I wasted on this film. This movie was just a train wreck. I was so excited when I saw this movie on a trailer. I was like, this was one of my anticipated films of the year, because I'm like, this movie looks really good. And I think it's going to be really cool how they, who's the snowman killer? This is going to be so cool. And this movie sucked. I was so disappointed when I left the theater, and I was like, man, I will never, ever get excited about another trailer again because of the snowman ruining everything. So that is my number 1 biggest disappointment of 2017, The Snowman. Harry Hole, Michael Fassbender, The Snowman. Absolute atrocious. So there you have it. Those are my top 10 worst films of 2017 with the 5 honorable mentions. More importantly, though, what is your top 10 worst movies of the year? Sound off there in the comments. Did you guys think The Snowman was as bad as I put for number 1? Sound off there in the comments. And join me next time at House Hollywood Reviews when I'll be bringing you a review of the new Gary Oldman film, The Darkest Hour. And until then, we'll see you guys in Hollywood.